Fight!
Hi friends! In this tutorial we are going to learn how to link corresponding sounds and camera shake effects to different actions in our fighting game created with the true fighting game engine for Unreal Engine. As you may know, I have also started another tutorial series on how to create a basic UE5 fighting game without using the true fighting game engine. So you can check it out if you are not planning for now to build a production-ready game. Let me remind, the true fighting game engine is my project for Unreal Engine that allows you create your own AAA class fighting games. You can easily add attacks, combos, and hit animations, import characters based on any skeletons, and create either single-player or multiplayer fighting games. You can check out my other tutorials in this playlist to learn how to do all of this. And with the true fighting game engine, you can create either Mortal Kombat style or Tekken style games depending on your needs. You can find the link to that project in the description below this video. And now let's start. So, you see in the left window I have extracted a brand new true fighting game engine project. And before we open it, I'm going to add package containing sound assets. It can be any package you want. I am going to use this Pro Sound collection. So, in my True Fighting Game Engine project folder, I navigate to the content folder and I just copy the asset pack folder and paste it to the content folder of the True Fighting Game Engine project that I have extracted. It's a big package. I will actually use just a few sounds from it. Alright, and now we are ready to open the project. So I just click the True FG View project. Let's start the game just to see. By default, we have this only one sound linked to all the attacks, no matter how powerful they are. But is actually pretty flexible, and to set the sounds for our game, we open the content drawer and navigate to content, True FG blueprints, and we open the BP sound blueprint. And you see here at the left in the My Blueprint tab, we have a set of functions which are setting the sound assets for each of the possible actions. So let's start. Before we set the sounds for the strong hit, medium hit, weak hit, let's make the hit damages different to see the difference, because by default the damage of all the default attacks in the True FG project is set to 3. But the True FG engine is considering an attack as a weak if its damage is less than 20, and it is considered an attack to be a medium type attack if its damage is in the range of from 20 to 40, and it is considered an attack to be strong if its damage is more than 40. So let's set our attacks for the Queen, as our player character is Queen. And to do so, if you remember one of the previous tutorials, we should go to the BP through FG settings, and we go to movesets, and our queen character is using this punch queen moveset. So we will leave some attacks damage to be 3, and we will make some of them to make, say, 23, and others 45, I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. So combo 1 and 1 asterisk, and the first attack with 1 button. Okay, we'll leave it as 3, but for the combo 2 with 2 asterisks, it means that it is combo when we press the same button twice. Let's set the damage to 23, and we will do the same for all other attacks with 2 asterisks. Alright. And for the third attacks in each combo, we will set the damage to 43. Right? 43. 43. Oh, 42. It doesn't actually matter. We can set it to 60 or 50. For this one, let's set it to 1. Let's save and compile. Now we have different attacks in each combo, making different damages. You see, at the right corner. And now let's set up the sounds for our hits. So we open our content drawer, navigate to the blueprints folder, and open the BP sound blueprint. And let's open the strong hit function. And instead of this click on button, let's search for something like hit. We should have them in our asset package. All hit, no, oh, punch. And we can listen. Alright, let's set this up for our strong hit. Save and compile. Now let's set the asset for the medium hit. We double click the medium hit SFX function. Let's search for hit once again. And let's look something. Punch. Let's better search for punch. Yeah? We would better use this for a strong hit, but let's just for fun set this asset for our medium hit, and we double click the weak hit SFX function. By the way, in this asset package we even have the punch blocked functions. If you followed one of the previous tutorials, you know how to add blocking attacks and counter attacks, and we could use these assets for those blocked attacks. But now we just need a weak hit. Let's try this one. Alright, it's alright. And let's save and compile. And let's for now test. How does this work for our? Huh? Okay. Have different sounds for different for hits with for attacks with different damages. Now we have a start fight as a fixed function. It is what we hear when the fight is starting. And I believe in that package we have the start, we have the fight, announcer voice fight. Oh, it's perfect for this. Let's save and compile. And let's set an asset for our countdown timer. It is when we have 10 seconds of our round remaining, it starts counting down. Let's just set this one and we save and compile. And for the hit ground, let's set something mobile. Is it something like we hear when we hit the ground? It doesn't actually matter in this tutorial. Of course, you will use your own assets. Let's save and compile. For the hit ground SFX, we will need to perform some additional steps, and we will cover them in just a few minutes. But for now, let's save everything. And for the knockout SFX, I don't know. Double click the knockout SFX, and it currently has the click on button. And let's set a sound which performs after the knockout. Knockout is when one of the characters wins, makes a final hit and wins the round. I don't know, this may be something like a voice, I don't know.
Dominating.
Alright. Yes. Let's save and compile, and let's run the game.
Fight.
And you see when the character hit the ground,
Fight.
nothing happens. We will cover this in just a few. And when we win, it says dominating. Why we don't hear the sound when the user hits the ground? Because the engine actually cannot know what the animation is actually being performed. If the character does fall in a particular animation, let's say is knocked down, or is it just a usual hit animation? So we have a special anim notify, a blueprint in our blueprints miscellaneous folder. Is named BP background AN, and we should add this animation notify, and we should add this anim notify to our hit montages when the character gets hit. By the way, there is also another special effect, not just a sound, there is also a camera shake with this standard BP background animation notify, and there is also one more anim notify BP brake ground weak. It doesn't make any noise, it doesn't play sound, but it just adds a camera shake when the user hits the ground, so you can use it depending on your needs. So let's go to the demo characters, and for now, as our enemy is the mannequin, we will just edit its hit montages. So demo characters mannequin fighting animation hit folder, and we go to the montages folder, and let's just select all the montages in this folder. It contains the hit montages when the user gets hit. So let's just select all the montages with our left mouse button holding the shift button. Let's right click, and from the menu we select the edit. Right, and we have some montages when the character is not hitting the ground, so we just close them without editing. But well, this one we see the character does hit the ground, so we move the slider somewhere when the character hits the ground, and here in the notify track we right click. Oh, sorry, a little bit below. We right click and we select add notify, and we choose the BP brake ground AN. Let's move it a little bit. Alright, and we save this montage. And in this one, the user is not breaking the ground as well, so we just close it. And we close this one as well, and this one. And here we are not breaking the ground. And here as well, and here we do hit the ground, so we go somewhere here. Alright, and we right click, add notify, BP brake ground AN, and we save, and we close. Alright, this montage is without hitting the ground as well, and we close it, and we close this one as well. And here we touch the ground with our knee. So let's also add the notify, right click, add notify, BP brake ground AN, and we save. Alright, and here as well. Oh, sorry. We hit the ground, so we slide. We move our slider somewhere to that moment. And under the notify track, we right click, add notify, BP brake ground AN, right? And here, oh, I like this. Maybe let's set it somewhere here, but not. Let's set it when the character touches the ground with its knees. Add notify, brake ground AN, and we save. And here we also have the moment where our character hits the ground, and let's move the slider somewhere here, and once again right click, add notify, BP brake ground AN, save. And here we also have this moment. Bam, add notify, BP brake ground AN. Save. Let's now save all. Let's try this out.
Fight. Dominating.
And you see,
Fight.
when our opponent hits
Dominating.
we have camera shake.
Dominating.
We also do have
Fight.
our sound. Uh-huh. As well.
Dominating.
Uh-huh. I like this. And now I want to
Fight.
say a couple of words about the projectiles. When we spawn a projectile, we can also play sound. You may ask, why isn't this possibility added as a separate function to our BP sound blueprint? This was made by intention because we may have different projectiles and we may want projectiles for different characters sound in a different way. We will talk about the projectiles in one of the following tutorials more in depth. But for now, just how to set up the sound for the projectile. You know, we set a montage in our BP through FG settings for our projectile. It has its separate move. Let me show this. Let's go to the BP through FG settings, move sets, and let's say for queen moves we have a projectile somewhere. Oh, here it is. And we use for it this montage. And let's go to that montage. I actually use just a very simple montage. I believe you may want to change this animation, but anyway, whatever montage you use, we go to its location by hitting this magnifying glass icon. And here we have the montage for the projectile. And in this montage, we already have a couple of other anim notifies. We will talk about them more in depth in a separate tutorial, but we want to play sound when we spawn a projectile. And we are just going to add a default anim notify for playing sound that is available by default by the Unreal Engine 5. You just somewhere like here, let's right click, add notify, and we have the play sound anim notify. All right, and let's select it. And in the details, we may set the asset. Let's use it. All right, I will just use this one. I like it. Play the montage. We do already heard it, and let's test it out. Let's launch our projectile. Okay. Well, makes me crazy. Yeah. Wow, not bad. And that's basically it for today. We have added some sounds to our fighting game created with the true fighting game engine for Unreal Engine. Have a nice day and see you next time. Goodbye.